Hello everyone, Professor Kuzluk here. I just wanted to make a brief video about the complexities of finding a ceasefire and then a way to end the Russia-Ukraine war. And some of these thoughts can really go across the international relations field. Whether or not it is a ceasefire, an end to a conflict, whether or not it deals with tariffs, it's just a complexity of finding agreements across the international spectrum, across the international field. So when now President Trump was campaigning, he said he would find a conclusion to the war within 24 hours, a ceasefire within 24 hours, an end to the war within 24 hours. And even if we think he wasn't being, he was just exaggerating and talking about how quickly he'd be able to find an end to the war, it does lead us to think about the complexity of ending the war, having international agreements, bringing two sides together. So this isn't the first time Trump has made such statements, and this isn't a criticism of Trump. He was on the campaign trail talking about how he was going to bring an end to the war. But now the reality is, being in office, trying to bring these two sides together, trying to bring the Russians and the Ukrainians together, who each side has their own interests. Ukraine, of course, does not want to give up land. We can see this in speeches that Volodymyr Zelensky gives. We can see this in the Rada. We can see this from public polling of Ukrainians across the country, that they don't want to give up land. So that makes any peace deal, ceasefire deal, that includes giving up land difficult for the government to pass. Ukraine is a democracy. There will eventually be more elections. Even the next leader of Ukraine will have to deal with this reality. And in Russia, Vladimir Putin, although it's an autocracy, Vladimir Putin is still dealing with pressure from those around him who are undoubtedly putting pressure for the war to end in a particular way. And we don't know, there may be other hardliners in the Russian government that Vladimir Putin has to think about. So finding agreements is difficult on the international stage.